Alright people, so this video we're working on irrigation. I don't really know how to set this camera so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. So I will say, just FYI, I am a licensed irrigator. So you need a licensed irrigator to work on your irrigation system. I mean, you can be the one to turn it on and off yourself, but to actually work on your irrigation system, you need to be a licensed irrigator, because we definitely don't want to cause water drinking problems here in Texas, and we don't want our irrigation water to back siphon into our actual potable water supply. Again, I don't know what angle to set this at so you guys can properly see. So anyway, I don't want you to, like, again, these are all raw, unfiltered, let's work on crap at our house kind of videos, so in the garden. So, you know, this may not, you know, be the most polite video you've ever seen, because I am literally here in the dirt working on stuff. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this on and I'm going to find the next leak, because every time I turn a new zone on, I find a new leak. And again, I haven't owned this place for too horribly long, but that's my life living here so far with this irrigation system, is every time I turn something on, there's a new leak. And there's so many lines going under here, like I can't even tell you guys how many lines there's going in here. I know this thing was built like 1980s, but still there's just so many lines, so much crap going on in here. So before I turn this on, so my double check is on right now and it's at the bottom of the driveway, so I decided to install a ball valve up here before all of my valves, and these valves are in a manifold. I hate valves that are in a manifold, but this is how it is, and it's below this poor elm tree, so obviously, you know, that's really not good. So if I ever completely overhaul this system, which I may one day, I should one day, then I will be taking it out of a manifold and away from the elm tree and redoing all these lines and stuff. But for now, that's not what I'm doing. For now, I would just honestly like the thing to properly work and all the zones to come on and work. So what I'm going to do first, before turning this ball valve back on, is I'm going to open up a whole bunch of valves here. The reason I'm opening up a whole bunch of valves here is because the pressure may break something in here if I don't, because there's a lot of water pressure coming through, so I don't want anything to break. So first of all, I'm just going to open up valves. Now these valves, these old green valves, I don't know if you can see them, you can't really see them. Oops, sorry. So there's some old green valves right here. So these old green valves, kind of handy. And so far, so good as them not being broke. They have an on-off toggle, which is nice. So this toggle literally just turns them on and off. And you know how many times I've dug these out? Like so many times. And it just like gets all this crap, all the sand, because I don't have soil, I just have sand out here. So all the sand just keeps on piling up around them. I don't love that, but that's my life right now. So anyway, and a whole bunch of wires here. So much fun. So first of all, I'm going to turn valves on. I'm going to turn like all the valves on, because again, I don't want anything breaking, especially anything I've been working really hard on breaking. So I don't want anything breaking, so I'm going to turn all the valves on that I possibly can. So that one's on. We're going to go ahead and turn this one on. This one I'm just turning on here with the solenoid. I think this one I'll probably turn it on with the solenoid also. I'm trying to remember which one's actually broke right this second. I don't remember, but it's underneath some of this junk right here. And then I'm going to turn this one on. So I'm going to turn all these valves on, and then I'm going to systematically turn them off. So here I'm just going to turn this on slowly, very slowly. You hear the water running. So you hear water running through these pipes. It's not hammering. That's good. The water not hammering is a good thing. So I'm going to turn on a little more. Again, very slowly turn your water on when you do this, okay? Alright, so now it's all the way on, so I'm going to systematically start turning off all of this. So I'm going to turn you off. It's so nice how easy it is to turn these on and off. Like, I've never dealt with these before, but I've dealt with a lot of larger stuff, so that's a thing. Alright, now we are going to, I see water's running, which is probably good. So now we are going to start turning things off. So I'm going to turn this one off. Oh, that was on more. Don't want to actually undo the solenoid. See, that could be bad. That one's off. Doesn't sound like it's off, but it is. This one may not be the kind you can turn on and off like this. So let's go ahead, turn you off. So you see everything's off now. But I need to see where there's a leak. So the leak is over here somewhere. You hear that? That's being turned on. Right there. You see that leak right there? Oh, right there's my next leak. Yay, I found it. Kind of, yay, right? Like, I don't really want to find the leak, but it needs to be fixed, so I've got to find the next leak. Alright, so now that I know where the leak is, I'm going to go ahead and turn my ball valve back off. Everything is turned off now. These lines will empty because my lowest head is down there, so the lines will empty pretty easily. So now I'm all the way up here and I've got to dig this up and I've got to find my leak. And it is probably, look, I'm just trying to like hold this thing up. You see how I'm doing this? This is super duper professional. I just want you to know like how professional this actually is. And I may have to dig up an iris. I hate to do that, but I may have to dig up an iris here, but we'll see. So now goals to find the leak here. Here, maybe I will fast forward my video a bit, like put it on like hyper speed or something. So
So something I didn't say before was that I didn't have the right size of pipe. I thought I had the I thought everything was 3/4 of an inch, but actually this one is 1/2 an inch of pipe. So then I had to stop what I was doing after I got everything cut out and everything cut and get more pipe.
alright, so now maybe I have an angle that you guys can actually see what I'm doing. Again, I'm having trouble getting angles and stuff right here because I'm not used to this. Maybe I need some kind of special thingy. Probably do need like a special phone thingy. So I'm going to just, again, kind of cut the pipe. I've got a stick of 1/2 inch right here. So I'm going to line this up. It would be helpful to have a pencil. That would be super, super helpful. But you know what? I don't. So I'm just going to kind of score it where I need it to be. So it needs to be made in between the N and the U in USA here. See that? That's where it needs to be. So I'm going to cut this pipe. don't usually like doing this many fittings, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. Alright, pipe is cut. So again, dry fitting it to see if this actually will work. And since this is a bendy pipe, it will. Oh my gosh. I love the bendy pipe thing here. I'm hoping this does well. If it doesn't, you know, I'm gonna cry probably. Maybe not, but that's what I like to say. Alright, so now I'm going to start taking this apart and gluing it together. So I'm going to take my gloves off to do that. This is very, very messy situation. And these things, they haven't been opened in a minute. Like, it was just opened a few days ago, but they seal very quickly. So just remember that. They do seal quickly. It can be hard to get it open. Oh, got it. Alright, let's try the other one now. This one's blue. It's hot, so it may be hard. Oh, no, wow. This glue opened nicely. Wow, can't hardly believe that. Alright, so first what I'm going to do, and sometimes I do like to bring this out of the ground just a hair if you at all can. It's a little bit hard to do it with this one, but you know. So now I'm just going to primer, and a lot of people get primer all over the place. Try not to do that. It makes the pipe weak, and I know, like, sometimes you can't help it, just like right there, because the pipes are so flipping close together. But you know, it is helpful if you can do it like that. Then I'm going to put the glue on. Make sure you get a nice ample amount of glue inside the thing there. Oof, I got it on both sides. That means I'm going to have to hurry and do both sides, which is super fun. And since I got it on that side, just make sure you get like an ample amount there. Oh. And now I'm going to hurry up and do this one. Got my towel to wipe my excess crap off, glue and everything off. Alright, so that held for quite a minute, second, or whatever. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing again. So I already got the primer and glue on the other side of that one. So I'm going to use an ample amount of glue. I always use an ample amount of glue. So just by the way, but always wipe it off too. Like whatever extra glue you have, wipe it off. Like whatever comes out. Okay, just give it, like, you have to hold this for like a few seconds. If you don't, it'll try to back itself out. Okay, that works. Alright, now I'm going to remove this pipe and glue it in. So it's kind of just the same process over here. You got your primer that you want to do. This will be easier because it's not actually touching the ground, which is super nice. Then we've got our glue that we're going to do. Let's do in here first. And I do like to do both sides. You really are supposed to do both sides, but I mean, it doesn't take a genius to glue pipes together. So and that's a lot of dirt in there. Not exactly what I wanted, but you know, be that way sometimes. It's not right there at hand. I got glue in the hole. Don't want glue in the opening. And it's not like you have to do this in a second. You do have to do it fairly quickly. So just remember that. This all has to be done pretty dang quickly. And again, I'm going to wipe that dirt off. And just make sure that you hold it for a few seconds. Alright, now we're going to fit it onto this. Oof. Hopefully that's long enough. I think it will be once I get it set. Oh wait, let's remove that pipe here. Yeah, that should be long enough once. Yeah, it's definitely long enough. Okay. I was like, oh, if I cut that too short, I'm going to be super not happy with myself. So let's get you there. Let's Look at the inside of this one. I might use this bendy pipe more often over here now that I, one, know it exists for one thing. Man, when I was working in irrigation all the time, this would have been so handy. Dude. Of course, that was years ago. Alright, now we're going to fit these pipes together. Make sure that you got a good seal on them and they don't come apart. And this one will fit down a little bit more, which should be helpful for me. I'm going to wipe it off some. And just hold it for a few seconds. Still wanting to ease out some. I need to hold this a few seconds longer. So if this doesn't hold, what am I going to do? Like if I can move this thing out here in a few seconds, I'm going to cut this. I'm just going to put another slip in there and call it good. Because that means I didn't make this pipe quite long enough, which I may not have. We'll see. Okay, it looks like it's going to hold. Now all we have to do is turn this sucker on, but we're gonna wait for everything to get and dry to turn the sucker on. So stay tuned for my next video when we turn all this fun stuff on here. So yeah, and subscribe, people. Thanks.